Hello and welcome back to another Warcraft video. So today I'm going to be showing you the Ashran faction hubs. Now, I'm going to have a video up on the channel about an hour after this one, which is going to be called The Real Reason Behind the Bladespire and Karabor switch. I know that sounds like a flashy title, but it's actually completely factual. And the reason I'm splitting it up is because that's more of a discussion, and it just wouldn't fit in the same video, even though they are on a similar enough topic. So yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, you may think this place I've been running around is the Alliance faction hub. By the way, I will be showing you the Horde one. Nope, this isn't the Alliance one, this is the PvP area, so we're not really going to care about that. Because all we want to see is the actual hub. So this is the actual hub. Now this is, 100% confirmed, etc. This is the version that's currently on the beta. But what we do know is that it's, going to be roughly about, the size of this landmass, and that's going to be that. So first of all, we got lots of tents. These tents are looking pretty cool. They appear to be the Argent Crusade ones from Northrend, but without the little, the little logo on them. So that's what's going on with them. This is a barracks, I believe, but it's actually just the level 100 barracks from the garrison, which you can see has just been sort of plonked here. I mean, maybe this is like just a leftover from that. Of course, all this stuff is subject to change, but currently they have just plastered in garrison buildings. And of course, a bit of a problem with that is that, oh look, Mogu. So yeah, obviously stuff here is absolutely subject to change. It does seem like, though, it's going to be basically populated with garrison buildings. One cool thing that we do get to see, though, is, well, a preview at some of the garrison buildings that we haven't unlocked yet. So for an example, here's the trading post. Again, sorry about this glitchiness in the floor. Now, we do know that these are going to be Alliance and Horde themed. Blizzard have said so. They've said exactly that these are Alliance and Horde themed, and that these are indeed work in progress, and that this is sort of the look that we will get. So we don't know exactly, like, to what degree this is going to change up. So we actually have got a Portal to Stormwind in here. But functionality-wise, I mean, this does have a portal. I'm assuming they might add more here if this was your final sort of hub place. And I will show you the Horde one in a minute, which is also, well, Horde-themed. Here's a Dwarven Bunker. So this looks pretty cool. I actually would like to get one of these in my garrison. I mean, just look at it. I think that's a really nice building. So there's that. What else do we have to show you? Yeah, there's flight points over here. However, we're not allowed to go anywhere else in Draenor in the PvP server, so I think they're disabled. That's fine. Yeah, so looking at other places, we've got this main barracks place. And this is basically, I'd imagine, the level 3 barracks that they've sort of stuck in here for now. So that's what's going on there. And then we've got lots of little trade buildings, so I'd imagine this is where they put all the trade hubs. And, like the vendors. Similar to how in Pandaria, they just sort of stuff them all in that little place in the side of your Vale city. They'll probably do that. Now, the one thing we do know is this is going to be very compact. And a lot of people are probably going to say, well, hey, look, you can't just say that this is similar to the final product. Well, here's the reason why you kind of can. You see all this work here, like you see this road and this is green over here. This is all like painted on by hand. So this stuff's all been put down so that it fits with these tents, so that it fits with some of these buildings, so it fits with this cobblestone. This has all bespoke been hand placed. I mean, look, it even, it's stopping correctly to lead on to those buildings. Now, I think these buildings in the middle here maybe won't just be plastered on like this, but in general, I think we are rather close to what we're going to see in the end here. And honestly, I don't really think it's enough. I mean, if you compare this even to the Vale City, and many people were not too keen in the Vale Cities, well, I would take the Vale City 100 times over this. Because at least it had a different art style, it had, it was just different. And also, currently these are using garrison buildings. Now, whether they use exact garrison buildings or not, I don't particularly... I mean, the big problem is that it's still going to be Alliance themed and Horde themed, and when you look at your garrison, it's going to look roughly similar. Even if the buildings are not exactly the same as your garrison buildings, they're still going to be the same style as your garrison buildings. So in terms of you just having a nice, art palette that's switching up all the time and always looking new and interesting, well, you're not going to have that. You're either going to be hanging out your Alliance-themed garrison, or your Horde-themed garrison, or your Alliance-themed Ashran base, or your Horde-themed Ashran base. And now that we just mentioned the Horde, let's swap over to the Horde. I'll cut back in a second. Okay then, so here we are at the Horde area. Now I could go up here and show you their big base, but nope, that's the PvP area. And while I love PvP, we're just going to be focusing on the main faction hub that is designed for everyone in this video. Now, there's a bit of space here. That does lead off to some sort of fishing shack thing. Not 100% sure if they actually plan on using that or not. But currently, the base is sort of set up, so it's got, you know, it's a little sort of entrance majigger here. So you go in, we see this building, which doesn't have a great deal inside it. That's fine. If you go down here, I suppose this is some sort of, I don't know, there's like a brawling pit there, maybe. This is a barracks. I know that's barracks, actually. That's the barracks from the Horde garrison. So we've got that. There's some, you know, things with the archers to do their training. So all this stuff is fine. If we move in here, I believe, yeah, this is one of their larger buildings. Whoa, getting some graphical glitchiness here. Lovely. So, not a great deal going on in here at the minute. I don't even know what sort of building that is, so yeah, interesting enough. One thing though, I feel like the Alliance buildings sort of feel more individual, whereas if these are, like, near final Horde Garrison buildings, then they all look rather samey, don't they? You know? I just think there's more of a difference in the Alliance ones. Anyway, so here's, what, some sort of, like, profession building, trading post style thing. This building, what is this building? This is like one of your main buildings, maybe a mage tower or something, because it's got 2 floors, or maybe, no, this is just, I'd say the larger Horde barracks. I think that makes sense. Now, these buildings themselves are certainly nice enough. Again, I think they are too samey, but they are certainly okay. It's just that, do they make a fun faction hub? No. And this one actually appears to be a little bit smaller than the faction hub. Though a lot of people who I've, you know, seen just commenting on the internet say they think this looks mostly done, just it needs a little bit of polishing and some tweaking. I mean, I think these would need to be 3 or 4 times the size if they were going to be cool cities that people would actually care about. I mean, I thought this base up here was supposed to be a little staging ground, and then you had the big city behind it that the staging ground was sort of defending. No, the staging ground is actually pretty small currently, and so is the big city. So my piece of feedback here is, you know, to Blizzard, is that these are not enough, and, you know, I will go into more detail about why the faction hubs have been moved in today's second video. I know it seems weird me splitting up into 2 videos, it's just, in terms of the flow of a video, they're just 2 different things. This is a preview, that one is a discussion. Now, I will talk about that more, but my suggestion to Blizzard here is they need to make these significantly larger. Now, that might mean that they spread out a few of the useful things inside them. That's fine. We don't need it to be so consolidated. I mean, hell, this is like smaller than Goldshire, okay? These need to be far bigger on both fronts, especially the Horde, but both. They need to be a lot bigger. If they can put any unique buildings in there that are not garrison things, then they should absolutely do that. However, they're still going to have the problem where it's garrison themed, and that's just going to mean that people are going to get really bored really fast. Because at the end of the day, you're going looking at your garrison, you're thinking, oh yeah, cool, there's my garrison. Then you go to your Ashran hub, and it's like, oh wow, this is just like my garrison. But, oh, someone else built it. So, yeah, look guys, honestly, this is just simply not good enough. It's the sort of thing where you should probably expect a little bit more from a company like Blizzard. Yes, we're not going to get Bladespire and Karabor, at least in patch 6.0, but for 6.1, they should do better. That's my bit of feedback. Just Blizzard, make them bigger, make them more interesting, make them more of a spectacle. Maybe it's a spectacle that's not going to be as visually unique and crazy as Bladespire or Karabor, but goddamn, at least something that's not small and crappy like the Alliance and Horde Ashran bases, because I've got to say, they really are not up to scratch. They're not at all. And as I said earlier, you know, compare this to Shattrath City, compare this to Dalaran, compare it to Stormwind, compare it to Ironforge, compare it to Orgrimmar, even fucking Thunderbluff, anything we've had in the past, and it just doesn't hold up. So, yeah, Blizzard, it's your job as the beta goes on to make this larger and larger. Of course, bear in mind that this is the state this was in, and when Blizzard thought it was okay to release it to the public in the beta, so I suppose take from that what you will. Anyway, let me know what you think about this in the comments of this video. Yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.